everybody. Welcome to Frankie Upcycles. You know, if you've already been here before, welcome. You'll know it's all about upcycling, recycling, redoing, reusing, stuff like that. But if you've never been here before, welcome to my channel. I'm always doing something, making something. I'm upcycling, recycling. So today, I want to make me a summer dress because it's hot here in Tennessee. It's been real hot for several days. So, and I'm still having hot flashes, so to compound that on the heat outside, it's terrible. Anyway, I want to make me a flowy summer dress today, and I'm going to use a sheet, and I'll show you what else I got. Okay, so what I got is this sheet right here. It's a twin size sheet. I like the color. I think that's pretty. And then I've got this right here. That come from the Goodwill. I think it was like a $2.99, and then I got half off of that because it was Yellow Day. This right here, I also got it at the Goodwill. I didn't get it half off. I paid $3.99 for it. But I think it's, have I got it upside down? Yeah. It's cute. It's a calendar. I mean, I don't know what you do with it, but, you know, but it's like a calendar. And down at the bottom, it's got the days, weeks, months, years. I don't know what you do with that. But anyway, I like the saying. It says, love you to the moon and back. That's what I used to tell my daughter all the time when she was a little bitty. I still say it sometimes. She still says it sometimes, so it's something she remembered. Anyway, I think that's pretty. What I want to do is cut that out, and I want to put it on here, and then I just want like a flowy dress, something to keep me cool, because I'm hot. Well, I mean, I'm not hot, but, you know, I'm hot. Okay, so I've got it folded in half. Here's the hem, you know, top half. Here's the bottom half. So I just folded it in half, long ways. So now I want to find the center here, so I will just fold it over again, and I'll mark the center of this. Okay, so here's the mark right here. So now I know that's my center. I should mark it. Okay, so, all right, half of it's done. All right, to start with, I'm going to cut this hem off right through here, because I'm going to need something for like straps. So I'm fixing to cut this off first. That sort of slid together like wrapping paper. Okay, I got my tape measure out, and this is what I'm going to do. I'm going to measure my shoulders from side to side, and I got like maybe 15. I can always cut it a little wider, but we're going to start with 15 inches. You know, it's going to be different if, you know, you're got longer shoulders. Broader shoulders, not longer shoulders. Okay, so here's my center point. We already marked that, and so I'm going to do the 15. 15. I'm not a math person. I'm more like, you know, how long is it and stuff like that. Anyway, we're going to do a cut right through here. Okay, before I cut it, I went ahead and got my blue chalk because I couldn't see that. I don't know if you can either. Can you see that? Anyway, I've marked it in the blue so I can see it. But here's the middle of my, it's going to be my dress. So I'm going to have neck. So I'm just going to do that much. How much is that? That's about 4.5. About 4.5. I'm going to mark that this way. It needs to be sort of like a V, so I think I'll go ahead and cut it out right here. How much is that? Okay. I'm just going to make it, I'm going to eyeball it. Like I said, I'm not a math person. You probably are, do better on this than me. But I know if I can do this, you can do this. Get you a summer dress going. So I got these marked right here. All right, and I got that one marked. Put my chalk up. Now I'm going to cut it. Where'd my scissors go? Found them. I don't know how they just get legs and walk off, but they do. Okay. All right, so here is where I'm going to cut. We'll start right here. I'm going to cut this little V out so I can get some trimming around it. All right, so I'm going to cut it this way. And I'm going to stop where my little chalk mark is. All right, now I'm going to do this side. I'm going to stop where that chalk mark is. All right, got that one done. All right, now let's see what we got. I think I'm going to make that neck just a little bit bigger. So I've done it in chalk. I hope you can see it. I'm going to cut that out. Okay, I just rounded it just a little bit because I don't want it to be too big. I don't want it too low on me. You know, I don't want it too low right here, and I want it to fit me in the neck. All right, so I just slipped it on. I put it over my head. Here's the neck that we cut out. The back should be the same. I can't see what's back there. And then here, when I cut sideways like that, that's this piece right here. So now I need to put me some binding around the arms and around the neck. Okay, so here's the hem of the top of that sheet. Now, I gotta open it up. And then what I'm fixing to do is fold it out, and then it's already got a line for me, so I know that's the middle. And so I'm fixing to cut it down the middle and then sew these two pieces together, and that'll give me enough to go around here and around my arm. Okay, so here's my binding I'm going to use around my arm and my neck. I'm just going to fold it in half, and then I will, of course you probably already know, I'm just going to iron it all the way down in half. Then when I get to the end, I'll come back and I'll take one side and put it in the middle, go all the way down. Then I'll come back and do the other side in the middle where that crease is. And then when I get through, I will just fold it in half like that. And then so I'll press all the way down, and that will be my binding for my neck and my arm. I'll just put it in there, sandwich it together, and sew it around. All right, so I got my binding all done, and I know I got way more than I need, but it's better to have too much than not enough. So I'm going to take this piece and I'm going to sandwich it in, and this is going to be under the arm, and I'm going to sandwich it in there and come out this side, and that'll be my underarm. Then I'll do the same thing over here, and I'll cut it off right through here. Then after I get these two pieces on, right and left, then I'll start here, and then when I go up and over, now this is going to be for my strap, so I'll have to sort of pin it and see where it needs to be so I'll know what straps. Or I could do it like this, cut it in two, and just tie it on my shoulders. Which I always found that when I tie stuff on my shoulders, it always seems to fall off. So I'm going to try to do it to where it fits first. And if that don't fit, we'll go to plan B. All right, I've got one pinned on. This is under the arm. And you know, when it's the V shape, you know, when you do it out like this to sew it, it's going to leave these little pleats or whatever. What I'm going to do is I am just going to sort of pleat that together and just sew on around it. And then when I get it on, it's going to have a little pleated look. I mean, I don't know if I like that or not, but, you know, if I don't, I can take it off and just serge it and then hem it. So let's try this. Has anybody ever seen two-tone thread before? I mean, I don't know if you could see it when you're sewing it or not, but I think that's cute. I got that at one of those thrift shops. It was a bag of stuff, and that was what was in it. So I think I'm going to use it. I think it goes fairly well, and you may not be able to see it. It was a whole bunch of stuff in a bag, and you know, these were full spools and stuff. And now a lot of these other ones right here, they're not good except for making bobbins or something like that. But I did get a good deal on that. I only think I gave like $2.50 for the whole thing, not the plastic container. look at my bobbin spinning. It's pretty wild. Okay, so here's the V, you know, under the arm where I just cut it. So this is sort of like bunched up a little bit. I'm just going to flatten it out. That's the underside. And I'm just going to go right over the top of it. Okay, so here's the, I'm stepping on it. Here's the tricky part, is deciding what you need for your shoulders. I'm thinking this is sort of comfortable, not too low, and I don't want it low here. So I think I got it about right here. So I'm just going to take it, go all the way around, do the same amount for this shoulder, and then go to the back and finish it off. Okay, what we got here is an issue and a problem, and I'm not having it. Okay. Try your stuff on. Don't think you're right all the time. Just like I thought I was right, I was wrong. Look. Too tight across here. Too tight across here. So, what I'm going to have to do, take it loose from right here, and take it loose from right here, and then I think I'm just going to cut these two trims off and hem it. I think that's what I'll do. Doggone it. You know, things just don't always work out like you think they are. So here's under the arm, and I'm taking this piece out right here, and I'm just going to hem it. I'm going to cut it a little lower. I get this off. Here, I'll show you on this side. Alright, so what I'm fixing to do is hem it like this, and then I will just go back up and under there like this right here. I hope you can see that. So after I hem it, I'm going to go back under there and then sew it back together. And then that way I'll have about that much more underarm room. Okay, just thought I'd show you what it looks like on Sally B so far. The reason I put it on her is because she's taller than me, and I was showing you how long it was, and so I'm fixing to put it back on, and I'm fixing to cut a lot of that bottom off because I'm too short. All right, so I know I need to cut a bunch off the bottom or I'll be tripping. So what I've done is I found the center of the dress right here, and I just shook it, and I've laid it out, and I had already pinned it when I tried it on. I took it off of Sally B and then I tried it on, and I'm thinking it should be right about here where I need to cut it off. So I'm going to start right there and see, you know, I don't know how this, I don't know what if it's going to look like, but I know these tails need to come off, so I'm going to chop it off right there, and then maybe that'll be enough to hem it, and then it'll be like pointy. But I don't know. I'm just going to eyeball it. And I'm going to cut where that blue line's at. All right. Now, let me see what it does. Let me see what it do. Okay, so where I've chopped that off at, I'm just going to press me a hem in it and run it through my machine and give it a hem. All right, so I added me a little bow of what was left that, you know, I normally had cut out for here and under here, that top of the hem of that sheet. And my original plan was to cut this out and put that on there. But, you know, I don't know if I cut it, you know, it's just going to get lost in all those pleats. I don't know. So I don't know whether to save it and put it on something else, but I think I'm going to go ahead and cut it off, pin it on, and see what it looks like. Okay, so I've got them pinned on. Now, this is the front of the dress. I made me a little bow tie for the front. But all depends on how it's going to flow. I don't know if it's just stuff that's just going to get lost in the, probably just going to get lost in the pleats and stuff. But I'm not sure if I like it. I may take that off and put it on something else. I don't know. You know, you get to a certain point on something and then you're undecided, and so you don't know what really to do. This is one of those times. Okay, I took that stuff back off because I figured out what I was missing, and that was pockets. So I've cut me 2 out, and I'm going to sew those on. I made them pointed like a shirt pocket because my bottoms was pointed, my tail. Okay, so I got my pockets on, and then I've placed these where I think they'll, you can see them when the dress is flowy, you know, because it makes those pleats. So I didn't get to use this big one right here because it just got lost in the pleats. It just looked like one wrinkled up blob. So I'm not going to get to use this one, but I'm going to sew the rest of these on. Well, I hope you enjoyed today's video. I really appreciate you watching. Thank you for tuning in. Thank you for all you old tuners that keep tuning in to me. And thank you to all the new ones. Hit that subscribe button, that like button. I appreciate it. And until next time, I want to say, God bless you. God bless your family. Y'all stay safe, and I'll see you next week. Hopefully, my grandmother used to say, good Lord willing and the creeks don't rise.